Rick showed me a really nice time here at his private museum, private collection. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I appreciate the knowledge. It's the one thing to go to a museum and look at the cars, but then to have somebody like, you telling me little things.
What we used to do is that people just wander around and they're gone in 10 minutes. Well, they didn't get it,
Yeah, I think it's better that the way you're doing it, how you're telling a story to it. Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't care for me just kind of being free and walking around. Yeah. Well, it's one of the things I'll be going down the road and I'm still like, oh, I could have spent another hour there. So you got your old signs of the street, huh?
Yeah.
Of the street we're on.
We heard that was out there and we bought it. We didn't know it existed.
1929 Model A, $8,500.
Yep.
And it's not, I call it a show car. You can take car shows. It's not perfect, but it's well up to like a 7 or 8, somewhere around there on a scale of 10.
Yeah, it's a fine car. I mean, it's not perfect, but it runs and.
I think it's at that price. If you listed it, which maybe you don't do that kind of stuff because you got tire kickers, you'd have it going in no time. I really do.
It's not my car.
Yeah, that's true too.
Sitting here,
You'd like to get rid of it, but you can't really.
It's clogging the place up. I got cars that can go there,
Now, what do you want to put in its place? What do you got?
Got a 71 AMC Pacer.
All right.
I'm sorry, 76 AMC Pacer.
I didn't have one. I grew up with one of them. My dad.
I got a 71 Monte Carlos in the shop.
71?
Yeah.
I had a 70.
And about the same.
Yeah.
And 56 Chrysler New Yorker.
Ah.
V10, pink, black, and white.
No, that's good. And now I know when I was a kid, my dad was into demolition derbies. We'd go to them. Them cars got used a lot, didn't they? Them old Chryslers.
Well, this Imperial back here, they're banned there.
Yeah, they banned them quite a few years. I can remember them being banned before I was 18, so like in the early 80s.
Yeah. They always won.
My dad only had 2 cars in a derby. It was a 70 Cadillac 4-door, and that one went through so many re-derbies. It did real good. Then he had a 66 Lincoln 4-door, suicide doors. That thing, first derby it was out. There's problems. But that 472, that 70 model, 472 is a very torquey motor. In 70, the 472, there's something different between the 69 and 70 I read about. Pistons or something they did different. But because the guy, I met him at the restaurant one time, he was talking about that car, and he's like, I bought that car. We tore out motor part. He's like, somebody had that motor part 4, and he was telling me about that. Well, then I Googled it, and I was like, they were different that year. I'll tell you another story that you find out about the internet. My dad, when I was just a little boy, he probably sold it when I was 7 or 8, had a 65 Mustang, 289, 4-speed convertible. Okay. Well, I remember, I was like, he junked it, like in 70. And I still have the title to the car. Because I have a bunch of titles of cars he junked. And, he's like, I don't want to put that car on the road. I don't want to give it to someone else. Someone's cut that car and put it together because it had 5-lug wheels and 4-lug in the front. And if you know, 4-lug was 6 cylinders. Okay, I heard this. I was watching Mustang history on YouTube one time. And I researched it. That's what they say. They didn't expect to sell that many, And in 65, they took the 6 cylinders, instead of, at the very late, they didn't know how the number of them, and put the 5-lug rear end, the motor and transmission in, but didn't change the front wheel hubs. So that car, and there was not, they said they don't know the numbers, but there was very few. And here, this is after Dad died, I found that out here, that car was a kind of rare car.
4 on the front, 5 on the back. And
it was factory. And so he thought, he got the car like a year or 2 years old, right? So he thought somebody hacked it back together. It was not a very old car when he got it. But I remember
It was a
Well, let me see. I was 7, so it was about 74 when he sold
With
it.
the tires were the same tires front and back.
14-inch tires front and back, but it had 4-lug rims on the front and 5-lug on the back. When he got it, it had hubcaps on them. You know, you couldn't tell. So he thought he had he thought he had the 289 4-speed all the time. Then he thought, well, no, somebody took a 6-cylinder, and because they do that and did that. But
So he bought it new?
no, he bought it a year or two.
Okay.
It was like 67 maybe.
Okay.
And, you know, I don't remember, just going back to what he said. And it was off a new, you know, somebody traded in at a new car dealership. So I believe it, you know, it's not a hack job, that it was factory. And if you research that, you know, they say they don't have the numbers, but very little. It's my little story.